All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about a really huge shift happening in the workplace, how the role of a manager is completely changing from that of a traditional boss into something more like an essential coach. It's a change that really redefines what it means to lead a team and what high performance even looks like.
So let's kick things off with a really important question. I want you to think about a top performer you know, maybe on your team. What is it that actually makes them so good? Is it just their technical skills, the what they know, or is it more about how they work with other people? As you're about to see, the answer to that has changed a lot.
Here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll get into the new ways we measure performance. Then, we'll talk about the big mindset shift managers need to make. After that, we'll dig into the specific skills you need to coach for, and finally, we'll look at the real-world impact this has on your people. Okay, let's dive in. First up, today's performance metrics. The core issue we're all facing is that the very idea of what success means at work has been completely rewritten.
It used to be that if you were the best coder, the best engineer, the person with all the technical answers, you were set. But that's just not enough anymore. The whole game has changed. Today, being a high performer is defined by how well you handle complex human interactions, your soft skills. This is the new standard, and it means we have to think about professional growth in a totally different way.
So if these soft skills are the new standard for performance, how on earth do we actually develop them in people? Well, that brings us to the solution. It all comes down to a fundamental mindset shift, which creates a whole new job description for managers.
And what I love about this is just how clear the contrast is. The old-school traditional boss, that was all about directing traffic and correcting mistakes, very top-down. But the manager as a coach, well, that's a whole different ballgame. It's all about developing your people and guiding them so they can find their own answers. You're shifting from being a taskmaster to being a talent multiplier. So this definition right here is really the key. A manager as coach is a leader who is actively, personally invested in growing those critical soft skills on their team. The whole point isn't just to get a project over the finish line, it's to build a more capable, more adaptable, and higher performing team for the long haul.
Okay, so we get the what and the why, but what about the how? This is where we get into the toolkit. How does a manager actually do this coaching day to day? We're about to break down the 10 critical skills that these manager coaches need to be developing in their people. First up, you've got interpersonal skills. This is the bedrock. It's all about how we work with other human beings. Real teamwork isn't just sharing a to-do list. It's about genuine collaboration and building on each other's ideas. It's also about influence, being able to get people excited about an idea without just pulling rank. And finally, networking, which is really about building strong relationships, not just on your team, but across the entire company to make things happen. Next are leadership skills. And here's the thing, these aren't just for people with manager in their title. A great coach helps everyone on their team build these skills. We're talking about organizational awareness, being able to see the big picture beyond just your team's immediate tasks. And it means developing cross-functional expertise, so you can be the person who connects different departments and breaks down those frustrating walls between teams. A coach helps people see beyond their job description to understand their real impact. And finally, cognitive skills, which is basically how we think. In a world that's changing by the minute, creativity is non-negotiable, but so is something called systems thinking. That's the ability to see how all the different parts of an organization connect and affect each other. It's understanding that a tiny decision over here can create huge ripples over there. And, of course, adaptability is all about being able to thrive when things get uncertain, not just survive. A manager's job as a coach is to build this kind of mental flexibility. So we've covered the problem, this new definition of success, and the solution, which is the manager as coach. Now for the final and maybe most important part, the payoff. Why does this shift really matter? What's the actual impact on your talent and on the business? And this quote just nails it. At the end of the day, this is all about getting the absolute best return on your most important asset, your people. Investing in coaching isn't just a nice-to-have or some soft perk, it's a direct business strategy to get real results, like keeping your best people, boosting engagement, and driving way better team performance. So, as we wrap this up, I'll leave you with a question to think about. Whether you're a manager yourself or you're just thinking about your own career, looking at that list of 10 skills we just went through, interpersonal, leadership, and cognitive, which one of them needs your focus right now to really take your performance to that next level?